Hello and welcome to our bi-weekly Hangout on Air series. I'm Krista Seiden, Analytics Advocate at Google, and today I'm joined by Suzanne Mumford, who is our Head of Marketing for the GA360 Suite. Suze, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
So today is a really exciting Hangout on Air because today we are talking about the brand new Google Analytics 360 Suite. So let's go ahead before we jump in and take a look at our agenda really quick. So we are going to introduce you to the GA360 Suite. Then we're going to go into a little bit of a product deep dive and kind of explain each of the different products that are in the suite. We're also going to talk about some customer use cases. And finally, and I think probably what you guys are most eager for today, we are going to take your questions. So on the note of questions, you guys always have the ability to submit your questions in the Hangout on Air box. But if you want to go ahead and submit them through the form, which you'll see a short link there, it's also in the invite invitation for this HOA, we are actually going to be giving away some awesome t-shirts. So if you take a look right there on your screens, that is all of us yesterday morning at about 5 a.m. celebrating a really successful launch. And we are wearing our brand new Google Analytics 360 Suite t-shirts. We're going to give 5 of these away randomly to people who submit questions through the forum and leave us their contact information, and we'll draw randomly from the questions that we've asked and answered during the HOA. So definitely get those in if you'd like a little 360 Suite swag.
Yes, and these t-shirts, I'm going to do a quick plug. They actually say established March 15th, 2016. So they will be originals.
They do. You want to be part of history. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Sure. Thanks, Krista. So I thought we could level set for a moment and just really talk a little bit about what the mission statement is of the Google Analytics 360 Suite. We really were thinking quite critically around crafting this statement because we wanted it to represent who we are, what value that we will present. So I thought we could just walk through it for a quick minute. The Google Analytics 360 Suite really offers a powerful and integrated analytics solution for today's largest enterprises. People can measure and improve the impact of all their marketing efforts across every screen, channel, or micro moment in today's customer journey. It's easy to use, which makes data accessible for everyone throughout an organization, which we think is really important, particularly in this world where more and more data is being accumulated. We need to make the tools easier to use so that more people can access and use them. So eventually you can discover all of those aha moments that you can use to really drive impact on your business.
Totally.
So to help illustrate this, I think that the mission statements are always good to align around, but there's nothing better than a video to help bring it to life. So I thought we could play a short video that will help the audience really capture the meaning and essence behind the suite.
Definitely.
The information is only as useful as what you can do with it.
It's not like you can just hire a few data scientists and get some good data.
Companies spend a lot of money on marketing.
What does our customer want? Who is our customer? How do we meet their needs?
It was a no-brainer to say, okay, let's switch to a solution that everyone can understand.
We can really focus on helping the company take action. It's something that makes me really excited to be doing analytics.
The suite gave us the insight and the data that allows us to see what we need to be addressing for our customers.
Is so easy to use. Any marketer can use it.
The big game is the seamless integration.
You can spend more of your time focusing on customer experience and where we could be doing things even better.
When I am able to come to a room with insights as a result of the Google Suite, my voice is heard.
It's been a game changer.
There's nothing like it. Minds were blown. My mind is still blown by this.
That was great. So, Suze, let's talk a little bit more about our actual products.
Yeah, sounds good. I think just to level set with the audience, The Google Analytics 360 suite is comprised of 6 products that are highly integrated. And those products are listed here on the screen that you can see, the first one being Google Analytics 360. And Google Analytics 360 is basically, right now, a rebrand of the Google Analytics Premium product. And we really see it as the foundational layer to the suite because it's responsible for really capturing very robust customer data that you can then push out to other products within the suite and also other third-party platforms.
Yep. The next one we have on the list here is Google Tag Manager 360. This again is a rebrand for our 360 suite customers from Google Tag Manager to the 360 suite product. And right now, that now comes with SLAs and services and integrations with the suite. In the future, we're also building out a roadmap of enterprise-specific features that are going to come with Tag Manager 360.
That's right. One of the products I'm most excited about personally is a new product. It's in beta. It's Google Optimize 360, which is a website A/B testing and personalization tool, which really enables marketers to take a lot of that rich data that they have in Google Analytics 360 and then test different website experiences based on that to understand which page may engage customers a little bit better.
Yep, I'm super excited for that one too. Another one that I'm super excited for is Google Data Studio 360, another net new product. And what this is it's really a data visualization product that allows you to connect to a lot of different sources of data from Analytics 360, Attribution 360, BigQuery, Google Sheets, and bring all of that together to make a lot of beautiful dashboards that are easily shareable through your whole organization.
Yeah, that's another one of my favorites as well, particularly when we think about that ease of use and collaboration that's so important for enterprise analytics today. Mm-hmm. Another product that I wanted to talk a little bit about and highlight is Google Attribution 360. Many of you may recall Google acquiring Adometry probably about 18 months ago. Since then, we've been very busy actually rebuilding Adometry onto the Google platform. So Adometry is basically being rebuilt from the ground up, and now we're launching it with a new name, Google Attribution 360. And that basically enables marketers to understand the value of different marketing touch points along the consumer journey, and then basically make optimization decisions based on that information.
Yep. And then the last product we have in the 360 suite is Google Audience Center 360. And this, again, is a net new product. It is our DMP. And that is really going to help marketers bring a lot of that data together in one place. And it integrates with our whole 360 suite, as well as a lot of third-party platforms, fully integrated with DoubleClick and all of our other ad stack as well. So that's really going to be a very useful platform for marketers when they're thinking about a measurement suite of tools.
Absolutely. And I think, too, one thing to just highlight is a handful of these products are very much in limited beta. We wanted to use yesterday to sort of share with everyone that we're working on them, we're testing, we're learning, and we're improving them. So please be patient as more news trickles out around the availability of these products. We're really excited. On the screen right now, you'll see an illustration of sort of how these products work together and how we view them working together. So you can see our 4 core products, which are Analytics 360, which, as we talked about, are really those consumer insights. The second product, Attribution 360, which is all around measuring your marketing and really understanding those touch points along the consumer journey and how to credit them. The third is Optimize 360, which, again, testing and personalization. And then finally, Audience Center, which helps you understand audience management. So these are sort of our 4 core products. And then we have, laying across them all, something I like to refer to as core services. And core services start with tag management. So first and foremost, you have to have really good data. One of my colleagues always says, garbage in, garbage out. So this is a fundamental component to the suite and getting all of the data right and clean. And then the second core service is really Data Studio. And Data Studio, again, sits across all of the suite products, so it can report on all of the results and all of the behavior that's happening within those products, and then put them in a beautiful dashboard that you can push out.
Yep. I think this comes together really nicely as a full measurement suite, as a way to integrate all of these different products and really be able to share all of that data and information with your organizations. I'm so happy with how this has really come together.
Me too. So in marketing, we think a lot about how we should go ahead and build products. What are the market needs? So we went ahead and we surveyed leading marketers at large companies to learn a little bit more about what their needs are, particularly when it comes to marketing analytics. And we really learned 4 key things that really have helped shape the actual suite. We really like to think of the suite as built for modern marketing. So built for today's multi-screen world to take all of those data signals and really make sense of them for people. So the first point here around what marketers need is full visibility into consumer behavior, right? So they need complete data sets so that they can see what's exactly happening along the journey, understand the context, move away from this world of measuring only a session or a single device or a last click, things like that. The second point here is the ability to get useful insights, not more data. Yep. There's certainly no shortage of abilities to collect data, but there is a shortage of our ability to be able to make sense of it all and surface insights for marketers and data professionals. So we really think that a lot of Google's robust data processing power, machine learning, and frankly, a lot of the principles that we learned applying to Google search and really simplifying a lot of that web data, we can use as we continue to build this product. Third is something that we've touched upon a little bit already, which is this notion of access and collaboration and the ability to share insights with people around you so that, again, the interpretations can change. People can use the data to help inform decision making across the entire company instead of just having a few power users being able to access and learn from that data and drive decision making. And then finally, this is sort of the purpose of why we do everything, and that's the ability to actually make the data actionable, to have it have impact on your business, and really create brand experiences that are useful to people and meaningful to people. Consumer expectations are higher than ever. So as brands, we really need to make ourselves useful to create an experience that the end consumer is actually feeling really good about.
Totally. So kind of to bring that all together, if we go ahead and, oh, you know what, before we bring that together, sorry, got ahead of myself. So sorry, Suze, you just presented us with this beautiful marketing story.
Yes. Well, I wanted to just share that it's just not all fictitious. Like, it's real. Sometimes marketers tell these wonderful, grandiose stories, but I wanted to share with you right here that we have on screen right now a photo of the actual UX. This is a screen grab, and you're able to see the dashboard, or I think something we're calling the home page, which gives you a snapshot of each product within the suite and how they highlight sort of what's going on in each account. You can see to the right of the screen an app picker, and that app picker allows that ease of use that we were just talking about. So if there are multiple users, they can easily toggle back and forth in between products and really help drive more efficiencies. And again, like this is the first step in a very long process, but we're really, really excited.
Yep. So what you're saying is this is actually real. Like,
this is real. We have people beta testing it right now. And in fact, you saw some of the customers in the previous video. So yes, it is real and coming soon.
All right. Yeah, that's so exciting. I got a little ahead of myself because I was so excited to tell this story. But now that we have kind of the lay of the land about how all of this fits together, let's actually put this in context of, you know, a real life scenario. So let's say that you're a major retailer and you have Analytics 360 and you're using that data to understand who your customers are and what they're doing on your website. And you actually notice that you do an analysis, you put together a segment or an audience of people who are coming to your website and who are actually adding more to their cart. Let's say they have 50% more value in their shopping carts. That's great. How can we actually take that to the next step and build on that with the other tools that we have in the 360 suite?
Yeah, this is a great question, and I'm so excited to share some of the use cases because this is really the magic of the product. As we were talking about, people are really looking for those insights, right? So the insight that you just mentioned in this particular case with Analytics 360 was that you saw that a certain segment of consumers were spending more, so you identified them as high value. But now what do you do, right? You want to take action on that information, and the suite really enables that actionability. So for example, you're able to tell, say, after poking around a little bit more in your analytics, that this same group of users is also very active on search, on Google search. Yep. So what you're able to do is link your AdWords account with your analytics account really seamlessly, a couple of clicks of a button, and you're able to then share that segment and remarket to these customers based on related products that they're searching for. So just like that, really driving action through the data. Second, and I think this is where things start to get like a little bit more sophisticated, is that by using an integration with Audience Center 360, which is our new data management platform, you're able to find out more about this segment of users that you've deemed high value. So you're able to really do some analysis, layer different pieces of data on it. So some of that data will be Google proprietary, some of that data will be through third parties. You can find out more about their interests, affinities, with the end goal to find more people like them. We call it lookalike audiences. And then you'll be able to actually take those lookalike audiences and again, create custom ad experiences for them and go ahead and deploy those on DoubleClick Bid Manager. Again, because these products are seamlessly integrated, not only with each other, but also with Google's ad tech stack, like AdWords, like DoubleClick, it only takes a few moments to deploy these. And if they weren't already integrated, you could be talking about data loss in this process, very time-consuming integrations, things like that. So it's one of the reasons why we're so excited.
Totally. It really makes that so much easier and much more of a compact timeline so that you can focus on other things like your website.
That's right.
So once you've created these audiences and you know that you're targeting those really high-value, meaningful customers, when they get to your website, you already know things about them. Why don't we go that next step and actually personalize that experience for them and test and optimize it through Optimize 360. So this tool really allows you to optimize those experiences once people land on your site, but not just optimize, take it one step further and personalize through the things that we know about them via Analytics 360 and our other tools. So one of the coolest things about Optimize, in my opinion, I think what makes it so very powerful is that it actually uses the same audiences that Google Analytics 360 does, which means that you can actually share those audiences and target audiences that you've built in Analytics using Optimize. I think that's so powerful. I'm so excited about it.
Absolutely. I think it goes back to that notion of ease of use and integration and just how valuable that is on a daily basis for users.
Definitely. So that's on our site experience. But let's take a step back and think about all of the different campaigns that a business is running, right? There's a lot of them through a lot of different platforms. And we want to know the impact of that across the whole business, right? And across that bottom line. Is there one channel that's driving more value than another? So using Attribution 360, we can really elevate what we're doing with regular old campaign tracking and performance marketing and take that to the next step and really understand what are the levers that are driving that high value impact for these high value customers. And then finally, and again, this is one of my favorite aspects of the suite, is you have to bring this all together in some way to tell this story to your key stakeholders, right? And Data Studio 360 really allows you to put that visualization and storytelling piece on top of all of these other building blocks that we've just mentioned, and then share it easily across your organization because it has the same sharing settings as Google Docs does. So you can add collaborators and share and edit those dashboards across to your biggest stakeholders in the company.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's also a tool that's a favorite of mine, particularly when we're talking about these large enterprise customers, and these folks will need to eventually sell in their stakeholders on a lot of very big recommendations that could have material impact on their business. So the ability to really persuade people through data visualization, compelling stories, is essential for success.
Totally. So to recap that story now we can recap. Using the Google Analytics 360 suite, You can quickly find your best customers and reach more people like them. You can give them personalized shopping experiences, and you can measure that campaign performance in the context of all of your other marketing programs. And then we can't forget about that integration with the rest of the Google products, the AdWords, DoubleClick, and Google Docs stacks. That's also really, really impactful here.
That's right.
So let's go ahead and take a look at what that means now in the context of one of our actual customers. We've talked about what it means in terms of a hypothetical retailer. Let's look at it in terms of an actual retailer. So let's go ahead and roll this video of our customer L'Oreal and hear what they have to say about a lot of this.
Sounds great.
Hi, my name is Coy. I'm the Director of Media and Analytics at L'Oreal Canada.
I'm Jasmine Bouchard, and I'm a marketing manager for Shumura. Shumura is the makeup artistry brand from Tokyo, which is part of the L'Oreal group. We wanted to build an audience of people that had the potential to become future clients to Shumura for the holiday campaign.
For example, some consumers that apply makeup also have other type of activities. They travel, they do yoga. And I said, okay, well, by using Google Analytics information, can help us find similar consumers and bring them to our website.
We then use banners as a way to convert using DoubleClick.
We were optimizing every day, and at the end of the campaign, we saw 2 times the expected sales and return on ad spend of 2,200%. When I realized that, I said, oh, that's a game changer. The next step for L'Oreal is how can we deploy similar learning, not only for L'Oreal Canada, but globally to all our brands.
Great. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, which sort of teased out some of the benefits of having this integrated suite of products. Sort of sticking with the L'Oreal example, I thought it would be nice to go ahead and sort of build on it and share with you how you could, in fact, try and replicate some of these practices, as well as hopefully achieve some of these significant results as a result. So it all starts with, as you've heard, Analytics 360. And Analytics 360 really allows a user to discover those target segments. And maybe that's based on web data, mobile data, could be offline data that you're importing, CRM, you name it. And then, of course, going ahead and sharing those segments across products, whether that's products within the suite or our ad tech products. And you can see here on the screen, one of the things that we'll walk you through is really the architecture in which this process happens, which I think is an important visualization to really capture what exactly is happening, how it's happening, and then how you can hopefully capitalize on this opportunity yourselves. So if we go to the next slide really quickly, we can look at how to expand and reach an audience. So here on screen, you can see a little bit of our dashboard. And really, the thinking here is once you've identified this really important audience, how do you find more people like them, right? You already know they have a propensity to, for example, spend more on your website, probably other things as well. So you can use Google Audience Center 360 to really do some more work into finding out the demographics, affinities, things like that. So really push that list into Audience Center seamlessly, create those lookalike audiences, and then go ahead and publish IDs to optimize 360 or the various ad platforms. And then finally, this is where things start to get really interesting. But this is where a user or within a large enterprise, you would probably need to start coordinating with groups here, lots of different people working on these things. You create that integrated marketing campaign. So for example, you're now using all of this data that you have, the audience data, both the lookalike data, as well as the data from your actual website and that segment of visitors to push it out to do AdWords remarketing. You can push it out to DoubleClick digital marketing, cross-network search, reservation display, programmatic, obviously, video mobile. So it's really, really important, particularly when we start to think about the scale in which you can operate and try and find more valuable customers. And then finally, this is a completely open platform, right? So while all of these tools work really, really well with Google, they also work really well with other tools out there in the ecosystem.
Yeah, I think those are all really great points. And I think L'Oreal talked about doing a lot of that in that video, right? They were using Analytics 360 to understand who their audiences were, and then they were creating a lot of lists and using DoubleClick and AdWords and various things to serve targeted experiences, or to bring in those audiences to their websites. I think they can then take it one step farther and use Optimize to optimize their entire site experience. And they can do this because you can test just about anything with Optimize: custom offers, redesign site layouts, and then that'll help them make smarter, faster decisions based on our Bayesian statistical methods that we're using within Optimize, as well as that information being built on Analytics 360 data. And finally, my favorite part of this is that next step of personalizing the experience. So you can use those Analytics 360 audiences to target and personalize, and you can also use the actions that people are taking on your site to do that as well.
That's right. So now we're really talking about the ability to create like much more meaningful ad experiences and now website experiences as well. So it starts to get really exciting.
Totally. And once they've done all that, they can use Attribution 360 to measure that cross-channel performance. And Attribution 360 really allows you to compile data across channels and devices and look at your views and click-throughs and your costs and reference data, online and offline conversions, really a whole bunch of different data sources here. And then you can model that performance by channel or by sub-channel, campaign and creative, and even by audience, giving you really powerful insights into each of those different channels and campaigns. And finally, you can publish the results to search and programmatic into Audience Center 360 as well. So then, again, my favorite, the last piece of the puzzle, is really then to visualize all of those findings that they've been working on with Data Studio 360, so they can easily share the insights with their team. They can connect to all sorts of data across the Analytics 360 suite and overlay their AdWords and DoubleClick campaign data as well as adding external data sources, whether that be BigQuery or Google Sheets or a bunch of other things that are in the works. You can collaborate and share those reports and dashboards with your whole organization and with all of your key stakeholders. So super exciting to kind of think about how our actual customers can start to use all of these different products within their own companies and experiences.
Absolutely. And so this is just a visual representation, again, of all of these products sort of coming together. And we like to think of this suite, yes, it is a integrated product set, but we really think about it in the fuller context of Google, right? So you can see here, we think about it with DoubleClick. We think about it with AdWords. We think about it with Google BigQuery, which is something we haven't talked a lot about today. We could easily probably spend an hour just talking about that alone. But that's another very important integration point, particularly for those who would like to do very, very advanced and robust data analysis that's more customized. So that's a great tool. And then finally, the third-party platforms. Like I mentioned, this is fully open. So we talk a lot about Google, but it's not just Google.
Definitely.
Right. You'll see on this slide, this is just basically a summary of some of the key features across products as well as with the suite. So I know we've shared a lot of information with you all for the past 30 minutes or so, but just to really summarize the benefits of the Google Analytics 360 suite and those key features. In the suite itself, on the left-hand side, you'll see really those powerful data integrations with third parties, intra-suite, and across Google are really important. Second is the access to Google data and technologies that we have. Third is the ability to provide like a unified, central user experience and controls. And then finally, enterprise class services, SLAs, user management, which is really important for those large scale enterprises. We won't go through all of the key features that you can see on screen now for each individual product, but you'll be able to refer back to this in the recorded version. So please do. Finally, we always think it's really important to hear from customers because they're, at the end of the day, the people who are using the products, and they're the people who are deeming them successful, providing us with feedback to make sure that we're building the best products that we can for the needs of marketers. So we have three snippets of information here that I just wanted to share. The first is from Progressive, and I'll let you all read this, but really the essence here was that Progressive launched their mobile app, and initially it was only quotes. They didn't think that they needed to put a buy button on that mobile app. However, after careful analysis of that user data, they were able to find out that consumers really did want to buy insurance on the app. So they went ahead, took action on that data, and put buy-related software within the app so that now they could use it as a channel for actually gaining new customers. The second here is a quote from L'Oreal, which talks a little bit about, again, just sort of from the customer point of view, the benefits of that seamless integration with DoubleClick and the ability to really create more engaging ads for consumers to improve the brand experience that consumers have. And of course, hopefully bring them to the website and sell more product or whatever those KPIs and business goals happen to be. And then finally, Nest. Nest is a company that has been using with a lot of success, our TV attribution product. The TV attribution product is really unique because what it enables people to do is look at search data that's been generated as a result of TV commercials that have run, and then look at, sort of in real time, if you will, what ads are performing the best in different demographics, and then be able to actually change their commercial lineup based on that data. So you can see here they have sort of a fun quote that talks a little bit about how companies notoriously spend a lot of money on marketing, and it's really difficult to understand what's working, what isn't, and that the suite really enables them to do just that.
Yep. Wow, Suze, we've covered so much today in just a half an hour, and there's so much more. I think that there are like about 70 or 80 questions in the queue waiting for us. But before we get there, let's just recap everything that we talked about.
Sounds great.
So our key takeaways here are you can see the full visibility into the customer behavior. You can get useful insights, not just more data. You can share insights and collaborate with everyone. And finally, you can deliver engaging experiences to the right people and share that throughout your organization. Right. I think 4 really powerful pillars of what you can do with this whole measurement suite, with Google Analytics 360 suite. So with that, thank you guys for sticking with us. There is a short link on the screen, g.co/360 suite, and that is where you can find out more information about the 360 suite. So definitely check that out. And let's go ahead and take our questions. Awesome. So stick with us, guys. There's a lot here. We're going to do our best to get through as many as possible in the next half hour. So Suze, the first question is for you. And it comes from Max. And Max wants to know, how does the suite currently affect Google Analytics premium customers or premium accounts?
Yeah.
Formerly premium accounts.
Yes, so it's a great question. So for right now, because the suite in itself is in limited beta, really it's not going to affect your account at all, with exception of sort of calling it Analytics 360. Throughout the next several months, we will slowly begin to work with Google Analytics premium users to migrate their accounts into more of this actual suite experience, so that if people would like to use additional products within the suite that are available for purchase, they can do so seamlessly and have that really integrated experience. So, but as we've talked about, we think that the Analytics 360 tool really is that foundational element.
Yep.
All right, so maybe I can take a question now and give it to you. We have one question from Jacob, who would really like to know, in what ways will this enhance reporting capabilities?
Yep. So that's a great question. And I think that, the analyst in me is really excited for this whole 360 suite, because it will definitely enhance your reporting abilities. You're going to have so many more sources of data and so many more places to go ahead and use that data and those audiences across products to optimize those experiences, personalize those experiences, take it and put it all together and elevate those key insights to your stakeholders. So I think it really depends on how creative and, how much you're going to dig in with the actual products and use them yourselves. But there's a lot to be gained in terms of reporting abilities from the 360 suite. So Suze, a question for you from Jacob. What is the specification for free versus paid version of the product? Is it for like hit limits, or the performance of the product, has that changed, or kind of what what's the difference between our standard product and the 360 suite?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So I would just begin to think of it a little bit sort of in the old world, for example, like the difference between the Google Analytics standard, which is our free product available to everyone, and the Google Analytics premium product, right? So those were a little bit more sophisticated, robust needs. That doesn't change, right? So the suite is fully paid, built for enterprise, and it really doesn't impact the free products at all. We really see ourselves having sort of 3 core products in market. The first is the Google Analytics free product, which has been out, known and loved for 10 years now. I think we just celebrated our 10th birthday. The Google Tag Manager product, again, completely free. And then we have this new enterprise suite with all of the products within the suite that are purchased on a by product basis. So unless you really see this as strong opportunities to start adapting to a more enterprise ready platform, it shouldn't change much.
Yep, great.
All right. So this is a really good question, and one that people are beginning to ask more and more, particularly around how we've rolled out Google Tag Manager Premium. Fabian would love to know, what is the benefit of using GTM 360 versus GTM Standard?
So that's a great question. And the difference really comes if you are an Analytics 360 user using GTM, you are now a GTM 360 user as well. And GTM 360 really has a few things that set it apart. It includes the services and support, which is really important. It also has an SLA, which, as an enterprise level product, that's very, very important. It has integrations with the rest of the 360 suite. And it will be a platform for us to provide new enterprise-only features in the future. There's a really exciting roadmap of things coming out throughout the rest of the year. So stay tuned, over the coming months to hear what exactly is rolling out for GTM 360 in particular.
Awesome.
So Suze, Amsel wants to know, which of the new features are exclusive to GA Premium? Do any require additional subscriptions? And is there any place that people can find information on this? So, actually reading through a lot of these questions, I think a lot of people want to know kind of what's the breakdown between products? Is there a pricing table available? If they already have GA Premium, do they have access to everything? So maybe you could just kind of give us a little overview of that.
Really important question. So very glad that it was asked. So again, it doesn't really change the Google Analytics 360 or the Google Analytics Premium product whatsoever. The additional products in the suite are either a rebrand. So for example, Attribution 360 will still be available as a separate purchase, as will all of the additional products within the suite. So this doesn't mean that there are necessarily new features available, but we sort of consider them new products available that are available for purchase. And additionally, I think one thing to highlight, which is kind of exciting, is that we will be launching some new features specifically for the Analytics 360 product, and I think about 2 weeks. I've seen a peek behind the curtain, and some of that will be pretty exciting. So please stay tuned for feature updates on Analytics 360 specifically.
Awesome.
Great. Okay, I'm just scrolling down a list of questions here. And let's see here. This is a good question for you, Krista. What kind of training is available, and how can I test drive? Nicholas is really wanting to know this answer.
Awesome. I'm sure a lot of people want to know this answer. So there are a lot of training options available to you. First and foremost, these Hangouts on Air will continue to be here bi-weekly to provide, overview trainings like this one. And just a little peek into the future, we have a deep dive training coming up in 2 weeks on Optimize 360. And 2 weeks after that, we'll have a deep dive training on Data Studio 360. So my 2 favorite products, you'll definitely want to join those Hangouts on Air. In addition to that, we're going to have a lot of short form video content, so like little tip of the week type videos that are going to really highlight different product features and how-tos to give you a peek into those products and help you understand all the different new functionalities. We also have our help centers. We launched a bunch of new help centers along with all of these new products with a lot of really great documentation. So that is there for you as a really good resource. And then finally, you have the Google Plus community that you guys should all be a part of if you're attending this HOA. And that is a really great resource for you guys to have conversations with each other and really help understand how this is going to be so impactful for you guys and where you can take it from here. Awesome. So let's look through here. A question for you from Alejandro. Will the DMP be used only for ads?
That is a good question and an easy one for me to answer.
Awesome.
The answer is no. It will also contain data for analytics, CRM, third-party data, sort of that whole important scope that marketers or data analysts will need.
Awesome.
All right, now it is my turn. Okay, let's see here. Let's try and find a good one. All right, Optimize, since that's one of your favorite products.
Okay.
Here's a question from Mariana. Will I be able to run a test with the same GA code, or does it need a particular implementation?
So that's a great question, and it's a pretty simple answer. The GA code snippet is for GA. Optimize will actually have its own additional code snippet that you'll go ahead and put in the head of the code on your page, just like you would with the GTM snippet or the GA code snippet, but it will be its own snippet. Very simple implementation though, just placing that snippet on each page that you want to have being tested. So
excellent.
All right. Let's see here. So many questions, guys. Sorry, we're just trying to filter through all of these. A couple that I'll just knock out really quickly here. So Tobias wants to know what additional sources can be plugged into Data Studio 360. And that is an awesome question.
Yeah.
So you can plug in Analytics 360, Attribution 360, BigQuery, anything you have in Google Sheets. And we have, a lot of things down the road that we're hoping to also bring in and integrate.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, I think this is like where it becomes really important to just reiterate, like this is the early days for us. Like we're just getting really started here within the suite and the product set. So I'm personally really excited to see the roadmap into 2017 and what additional features we'll be building into all of these tool sets.
Absolutely. Okay, another Data Studio question. How can access be managed? Is it the same way as analytics, or is it automatically bound to a specific GA account? So quick answer there is the sharing settings are actually very similar to those of Google Docs with edit and view access, and you can share that data with your data sources attached or not, so that the people who are digesting that information either can edit it themselves or not. So really cool sharing settings there, I think. All right, let's see here.
A lot of very similar questions, so people are thinking the same things.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and pick one that you'd like to
Okay, let's see here. Well, I don't know if I should ask you this one, but Joe would like to know what your top 5 rappers of all time are.
Oh man, I do not have a good...
Just to throw you a curveball, Krista.
You can ask me anything about analytics or any product in our suite, and I would have an answer for you right now. But rappers, wow. Would I be like awful for saying Eminem? I kind of like Cisco. Like I don't know.
Nice.
I'm not a rap person.
All right, I'll ask you a more analytics related question now. Okay, let's see here. So there does seem to be a lot of questions just again around sort of understanding how these products are bought and sold together. So here's another question that we can just sort of reiterate that. When can we have access for DMP, and does this come with GAP? So I think the question there is, when can we have access to Audience Center 360, and does this come with Google Analytics 360? Would you like me to answer this one? Or?
Go for it.
Okay, so again, they're separate products. So the good news is that once you are a Google Analytics 360 user, it makes getting up to speed with a new DMP, such as Google Audience Center 360, really, really easy. In fact, one of the major value propositions is just the speed in which a business can start to begin to import and export data. But again, they are separate products built to work together. And an Audience Center 360 right now is in limited beta, so it isn't quite open yet. We're still working to fine tune a lot of the product. So hopefully more on that in the coming months as well.
Awesome. Okay, so there are a lot of questions. A lot of questions about everything. Sorry, guys. All right. So I see a couple questions, and this is around Data Studio as well as Audience Center 360 about integrations with other systems.
Yeah.
So we do have a roadmap of things that we are looking to bring in and connect to. And right now we have a pretty rich set of stuff that we're already connecting to, including all of your own analytics data and a lot of your CRM data and whatnot. So just to knock all of those questions off the list.
Great. And I see an important question here just around, let's see here. Are you still developing reports for GA360, or will it be required to buy Data Studio to get reports? So really, really good question from Jeremy. And the answer is yes, we still will have full reporting capabilities in Google Analytics 360. But if you really want that added data visualization, then yes, you would be required to go ahead and purchase Data Studio, which will sit across all of the different Suite products.
Awesome. Okay. All right, I see a question here about, will Optimize 360 be comparable in functionality and scalability to other products on the market? So Optimize 360 is our version of A/B testing and personalization, and really taking that site optimization to the next level, integrating with your analytics audiences. So I think that while it is comparable, it's also that additional step of that really tight integration and that targeting that you're able to get using those Analytics 360 audiences. It's got a really great visual editor where you're going to be able to drag and drop and resize and change font and everything WYSIWYG. It's also going to have redirect testing and multivariate testing. It's a very robust product that we are actively developing even more as we go along. So, I think the answer is it's a pretty awesome product with comparable but even more awesome functionality. All right.
I think there are a couple of questions just on specifics for pricing.
Okay.
And I would say, just so everyone knows, we won't publish a rate card just because at an enterprise level, customer needs are often very varied. So if you are interested in learning more about pricing and about the solution, you can go ahead and submit a request on our Google Analytics website to learn a little bit more information about that. But very competitively priced.
Yep. All right, so a question about, is there any code updates needed to integrate GA360, or will it work out of the box when it's available? So Analytics 360 is just the rebrand of Google Analytics Premium at this point. There's no code updates needed in terms of continuing to use that same product. Additional products some of them will require additional code, such as Optimize. Something like Data Studio doesn't require you to use any code on your page. You are simply pulling in a lot of those data resources into Data Studio to build those dashboards. So I think it depends on the product and what you're looking to do with it.
Yep.
All right. You want to go for one?
Let's see here. Yes. All right. Let's see here.
All right, while you're finding one, there's a question about, what will the role of BigQuery be in 360? That's a great question, and I think that the answer is we are actively developing integrations for BigQuery into all of our products. It's already available in Data Studio, and tying into all of those different products. So I think BigQuery is going to continue to be a big part of that analytics package, and even grow so in importance as we go further.
Yeah, and I see just another question in here from Jonathan, just around like the value of being able to actually see these products, what's changed, and they're enjoying the conversation, but they want more. So I would say here, you know, today we really just wanted to provide you with that overview and that broad context. But yes, Krista will be doing a more robust deep dive into each product within the suite that will actually deliver exactly what you're looking for, Jonathan. So share with you how the interface looks, how the products work, and hopefully really bring it to life a little bit more.
Yep. Okay, a question from Della is, can you build reporting based on top insights from Optimize 360 changes? So absolutely, Optimize 360 integrates fully with Google Analytics, Analytics 360. And in fact, those reports are going to be available both in the Optimize 360 reporting interface, and also that data will be available in Analytics 360. You can, again, use those audiences from Analytics to integrate with Optimize, and you can use that data from Optimize from those tests to you know, segment your users and really find more insights. And then you can use Data Studio to visualize it all.
That's great. There are some other questions I'm seeing here on a lack of clarity around Google Analytics, the free product, and Google Analytics 360. So I really just wanted to take a moment to clarify this, since it seems to be coming up quite a lot in the questions. Google Analytics 360 is a rebrand of the premium paid product. So Analytics 360 is a paid product, whereas Google Analytics Standard will remain free as people have continued to use it. And every other additional product in the suite will also be available to purchase on a per product basis. So the entire suite itself is paid.
Yes. Okay. So a few questions about timelines.
Yeah.
So I mean, as we mentioned, there are a lot of things rolling out throughout the year. You mentioned stuff as early as 2 weeks from now rolling out in Analytics 360. Anything more that you want to comment on in terms of timeline? There's a lot of questions on it.
Yeah, no, and rightfully so. So I think right now, it's sort of, if you're a Google Analytics premium user, you know, you at some point will definitely be impacted and will move over to the Google Analytics suite. So if you buy one product within the suite, you will have that suite experience. Right now, because the suite is in limited beta, no changes will be made in the immediate future. In fact, when we actually launch some new features and capabilities in the Google Analytics 360 product, that will not be within the actual suite UX itself, or exclusive to it rather, since everyone else will generally still be using the current Analytics 360 product, which is the rebranded premium.
Yep. All right, a quick question from Camille. Would you share that link again, please? Yes, it is g.co/360 suite. One more time, g.co/360 suite. You can also go to our analytics marketing page, google.com/analytics, or even google.com/analytics/marketing. All of these pages have a lot of information on our 360 suite. Okay, a question from no name. Are there any differences in data classification in the 360 suite compared to current platforms, especially with respect for support for PII? So no, if you can't put the PII in GA Premium, you cannot still put it in Analytics 360. The rebrand doesn't have anything to do with us now allowing PII. All of our data specifications and classifications are the same across the board. And if anything does change in the future, you guys will for sure be the first ones to know. Okay. One question here from Steve. GTM, or yes, it's a question. GTM 360, does it have any additional costs for users of Analytics 360? And the answer there is no, I believe, right? These are going to be partnered together, or maybe you can comment there.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are directly using Google Analytics 360, you will be able to, you know, just opt into Google Tag Manager 360. It will be fully covered under the SLA, and it won't require any additional cost, although it will be available for sale directly as a standalone through our reseller channel in the near future.
Great. Okay, let's see here. There's more questions about greatest wrappers. Thank you for that, Joe. Appreciate that one. Okay. When will Google Analytics 360 be free? Nope. As we mentioned, we will continue to have the standard product, and then the Suite Analytics 360 will continue to be that suite offering.
Yeah, and again, really to reiterate sort of how we think about the products. So we have Google Analytics, the standard product, the free product. Anyone can use that product, right? An SMB, a blogger, a very sophisticated business, but the actual suite products themselves have really been created and designed to meet the needs of enterprise, large organizations.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, a question from Adrian. Will the integrations be automatic or do they require additional approvals? So the answer to that is they should be not automatic, but whatever you have to do now to integrate with DoubleClick or BigQuery or whatnot, that process will be the same or very similar. You have to have the right permissions to allow the connections to happen, but there shouldn't be any additional approvals or levels of kind of red tape around those integrations as than what you have now. Okay, a question from Kim. Susan, I'm going to give this one to you. Okay. Will there be any products that you guys are taking away from Google Analytics Premium?
No, definitely not. And in fact, what we learned through the premium product was that a lot of the features that were available in premium, we could actually go so much deeper and really flush those out into standalone products for a specific customer segment of the market. But there are still tremendous features available in Google Analytics 360, formerly known as Premium, which will remain exactly the same. And we are going to continue to invest in that product as we always have been as a standalone product, if you will. So as I mentioned, it's really the foundational element to the suite. So it's really important.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. So couple more questions. We're nearly at time, but let's take maybe 2 or 3 more. A question from Ricardo. Can you use Data Studio 360 to visualize data from Google Analytics Standard? So the answer there is yes, when Data Studio 360 becomes available out of limited beta, if you're not a suite product or not a Analytics 360 suite product or user.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, great.
Although we don't have tons of specifics on that particular product, because I would say that one is definitely still being worked on quite heavily in its limited beta. So more to come.
We're actually going to have the product manager, Nick, join me in 1 month for a deep dive on Data Studio for one of these Hangouts on Air. So bring all your hard questions then for him.
Yes, and no one is more excited about Data Studio than Nick. His enthusiasm really is contagious.
Absolutely. Okay. I see a lot of questions here just around positioning of the 360 suite and what it means for the market. So Suze, maybe can you comment kind of on what you started off this whole HOA with our vision for the 360 suite. So maybe just kind of reminding people what that vision is and how we've built this out as a measurement suite.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and this is one of the things that I really think about when I think of this suite is we get a lot of questions oh, hey, are you going head to head with this particular company or that company? And really we see ourselves as the first sort of measurement technology stack out there. This purely is a marketing analytics stack. And yes, we can make it actionable by plugging into our various ad technology at Google. But we see this as a really unique, important moment that could in fact spur other companies to begin to create more measurement-focused stacks. And I think, again, just in terms of the positioning overall, one of the things that we found in market when we were doing a lot of user research is that enterprise analytics tool sets were very, very hard to use. And what happened is that a lot of the data remained unused. So people were collecting a tremendous amount of data, but they were drowning in it. So we really saw this as an opportunity to do something where we could create really easy to use, sophisticated data at that enterprise level to help sort of democratize insights internally and help arm more people rather than less to make those data-driven decisions.
Yep. And you know what? I think that is a great note to end on. We are right at time. I'm so incredibly impressed. We have like 150 questions that came in. I apologize that we weren't able to answer them all, but I hope that we were able to give you guys enough to kind of make you as excited about this as we are. So stay tuned in the coming weeks for those deep dives on Optimize and Data Studio 360, as well as future trainings, and definitely talk with each other about all of this excitement in the G+ community. So with that, I'm going to say thank you guys so much for attending, and thank you so much for joining us, Suze. Like, your wealth of knowledge around how this product and the suite has come together is just so beneficial, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was great to be able to chat with all of you, and I will see you in the community.
Yep. Thanks, guys.